What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to Tank Top Hank. I am Tank Top Hank, and I was drinking a double shot espresso to get jacked up for this episode. And there's a hole in the faucet, as you can see. The rug got a little bit dirty, if we're going with that metaphor. But you know what? The show goes on. We're here to get down to business and rock and roll. And I am rocking and rolling with my man, the real Jack Burton. How you doing, big boy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. So let's dive in and start with the NFL draft. That's what a lot of people are talking about. You're a big Packers guy. You're rocking the beanie. I like it. So tell me, what are your thoughts on this Aaron Rodgers situation? Do you want to see him go? Is it time to give Jordan Love a shot? Do you also not like the GM because Aaron Rodgers was comparing him to Jerry Krause? Give me your thoughts on your Packers.
Well, here's the thing. So there's a couple of opinions up there in Green Bay. So first of all, everyone loves Green Bay up there. Or everybody loves Aaron Rodgers up in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so when that news came out, it's kind of like very shocking. It's kind of like losing. I mean, he's the idol up there. There's photos of him everywhere. If you've ever been up there, it's insane. I think Aaron Rodgers is a drama queen. I think he wants to cause drama because I think there's a story out there that he left his family. He's not very close with his family, and now he wants to leave the Packers, which is almost like his family. He's been playing there for, this is his 15th season, I think, 16th maybe. It's why would you leave now? You're already great. You're going to go in the Hall of Fame. I think it's kind of a slap in the face, and if he wants to do that, he can do that. I don't really think it's on the Packers because I think the Packers brought Jordan Love in as a good backup for him, gave him good depth, but I really think the Packers have been good to him throughout the years. They got rid of Mike McCarthy. They hired a new coach. I mean, they went to the NL Championship this year. He got the MVP. What is he complaining about?
Yeah.
I think he needs to stay there. I think he needs to really work it out, and I think for him, he needs to stay there.
I'm with that. The only thing I might say in favor of, obviously, I think you're right. The Packers do have, the Packers are owned by the city of Green Bay, right? That's the only team that's owned by the community.
Right.
It's like a family atmosphere with that team for sure. The only I think you should say, but the only thing I could say that Aaron Rodgers might have a point on is they haven't really drafted offensive weapons around him. But then someone could say that's not really the weakness because you already have Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. What do you think? Do you think they should have drafted more guys, or they've already helped him out enough on offense?
I think first of all, we signed Aaron Jones back when we have a good secondary running back in A.J. Dillon. I think you get rid of Aaron Jones, and I think you do maybe hire a little bit more protection to protect him on the line. But I think receiving weapons, I think he's fine. He could use a good tight end, but really he doesn't need it. Devontae takes a lot of steam off that tight end and leaves him open. I really think that's the only thing that the Packers maybe should have done. They don't have a lot of money. They need to focus on the defense like they did in the draft. They drafted a cornerback the first round, and I think they're making the right choices. And I think Aaron Rodgers is really just trying to throw a wrench, I guess, at it. He's just trying to mess it up.
I totally think Aaron Rodgers should stay. He's got a great team there, the family atmosphere. That's all good stuff. Let's shift gears. Also talk about the draft. It's so interesting and fascinating this year. We've got so many quarterback and wide receiver running back duos. We've got Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. I'm a former LSU fan. I should have known this off the bat. I don't know how I forgot. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, and then Jalen Waddle and Tua down in Miami, in Florida, where I'm at. But which of these duos do you think could be the most lethal in the NFL? Personally, I think them drafting Travis Etienne. They already have James Robinson, the undrafted running back last year, comes in. He's not rookie of the year, I don't think, but he was close to it. Or maybe he did. I can't remember. But he's great. I don't get drafting Etienne unless they want to use him as like a slot guy more. But we're not talking about the word. That might have been a bad decision by the Jags, but they did get Trevor Lawrence. Who do you think is going to be the best duo in this draft? It's very, very hard to tell because all of them are pretty good.
In my mind, I think it's undisputed. I think Waddle and Tua. Because I think Jalen Waddle, he got injured this season, but he might have been the most dangerous wide receiver in the league. And that's very controversial. Don't hold me to that. But I think that.
In the NFL or college?
In college.
Okay.
I think so. I think he has a lot of potential. Tua started to show a lot of maturity in the league last season. In the middle of the season, we saw a lot of athleticism. We saw maybe a really good starting quarterback in him. Now he's a weapon he's familiar with from Alabama. He's familiar with him. I really think there's something to be said. I was at the first game where Mizzou played Alabama. He carved Mizzou's defense up. single-handedly Waddle carved us up. And I really think he's going to be, that's by far the best duo.
Yeah, I was actually at that game, and I was my buddy Marcellus Poland. He's in MUTV. He's on the football team now. He walked on, and I was sitting there watching with him, and Waddle was just tearing us up. And he's one of those guys that his running style is almost kind of quirky a little bit. It's not like the perfect sprinter. I mean, who am I to give advice? I'm a big, slow, fat kid now. but I mean, it doesn't matter. He's one of those guys that's just so naturally, freakishly athletic. I could totally see, obviously, selfishly, as a former LSU fan, before I got to Mizzou, my parents went there, so I was an LSU fan. See, in the last season as an LSU fan before I got here was the Joe Burrow season with Jamar Chase winning the national championship, and what I think was the best college football team ever. I'll argue that to the day I die, unless somebody else does something like that, which I don't think there will be. But that aside, I would love to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I think that could be lethal. But about that, a lot of memes going out there, like videos like people getting injured, saying like this is what's going to happen to Joe Burrow because they passed on Penei Sewell.
They did.
Is that a mistake, or was it good to draft Jamar Chase? What do you think?
So I think everyone always thinks if you draft a quarterback and then you draft a receiver that quarterback played with, they're going to play well in pro football. It makes sense. It doesn't work out like that all the time. I know I just talked about too on Waddle, but it doesn't work out like that all the time. I think they should have given Joe Burrow a lot of protection. He has a lot of potential. And if he gets injured again, that might ruin his career. He needs to get a lot of experience while he's young so he can start to become a pro, maybe a possible Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I think that they need to focus on protecting him. Could be wrong. We'll see. Maybe they have a secret weapon we don't know about, but I doubt it.
My only counter argument to that would be that the Bengals would then be beating their head against the wall, just absolutely just really pissed off if they see Jamar Chase goes down to Miami and starts tearing it up. You know what I'm saying? Because then they got Sewell, but they could have had that connection, with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and now he's with Miami and he's tearing it up, and he's potentially Rookie of the Year. I think they'd be like scratching their heads. But that, again, I think it's a very interesting argument to have because Penei Sewell is arguably the best O-line prospect we've ever seen. And also we've got Jamar Chase, who was electric with Joe Burrow in college. So I guess it's just, honestly, I kind of like the Jamar Chase pick, but I understand why some people don't like that they didn't take Penei Sewell. What about the draft? Let's talk. We've got Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore, and Rashad Bateman. Everybody already knows about the main guys, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Jamar Chase. Everybody's been talking about them. These guys that were drafted kind of later in the second round and beyond, and let's see. Elijah Moore went to the Jets. Ravens got Rashad Bateman, and Rondale Moore went to the Cardinals. Personally, I think the Cardinals might have had the best overall draft. They did great. Do you think, honestly, I think Rondale Moore and Elijah Moore, they might be the best route runners in this class. Rondale Moore had a freakish combine, ran like a 4.3 or a 4.29, something like that. And he's built like the Hulk, man. He's only 5'7", but he can jump, he can run, he's really strong. Do you think that, similar to the DK Metcalf situation, these wide receivers, people are going to be like, man, I should not have passed on these guys?
Oh, yeah. I definitely think everyone's going to scratch their head at Rondale Moore. I think Arizona, I think they're a lethal team. I think he's going to do he's going to have a really big part up there. I think Bateman is going to have a really big part of the Ravens. There's a couple articles saying that Bateman is the second most valuable player up there. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I read that, but I do think there might have been a couple teams that might scratch their head and look back and think maybe they should have gotten.
Because these guys are really explosive.
Oh, yeah, explosive right off the line.
Oh, yeah, especially Elijah Moore at Ole Miss. He did well against Mizzou last year. I cannot believe that Arizona got Rondale Moore. That was a steal. And they got a great linebacker in the first round, too. But let's switch gears. Let's go UFC now, the Ultimate Fighter Championship. We both love UFC. We've got probably the most headline name in all of UFC, even though he's retired like twice. Conor McGregor taking on Dustin Poirier this summer. We've got two really interesting. We got the McGregor versus Poirier match and then the Adesanya versus Vettori match. Both of these are rematches, or I guess this is the trilogy because this is the third time for McGregor and Poirier. I really don't know who. I don't bet. I'm not a betting man, but I don't know who I'd put money on if I were to bet because these guys are the same height, obviously same weight, virtually the same kind of fighting style. I mean, they're both great strikers, and Poirier matches McGregor when he goes southpaw because I think he's the guy that'll flip. McGregor's gotten beat on the reach a little bit, but they both beat each other once. McGregor knocked him out in the second round the first time they fought. Poirier knocked McGregor out in the No, McGregor was a first round knockout first time, second round in the second fight for Poirier. Poirier just beat him, but I don't know who wins this. McGregor's going to come back more hungry now, but Poirier's improved a lot since the first fight. You are very in the know about UFC in addition to the NFL. So what are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you think is going to take this?
I'm biased. I'm a big Conor McGregor fan. I will say Conor McGregor. I would always root for Conor McGregor. I will say I'd put my money on a knockout. There's going to be a knockout. Yeah. I mean, first time they fought, McGregor knocks him out. Second time they fight, Poirier knocks him out. I think it's going to be a knockout. However, in the last fight, Poirier really attacked McGregor's legs and made him really weak. And that's how McGregor's always fought, with his legs wide, because he has that wide stance. He's very crazy. Yeah. If he doesn't change his fighting stance, I think Poirier might do the same thing. Yeah. Why would he not? McGregor has got a lot of big things on his mind. He just sold his whiskey company. He's a billionaire almost. Did you know that?
I knew. I mean, he's always talking about how he loves to make money. And then spend it. Yeah. I didn't know he's almost a billionaire. I knew
he sold this company for like $600 million or something. And wow. I mean, he's got a lot of big things to focus on. It's just hard to think that he's really training that hard for a fight, whether he might just want to.
I might counter argue and say that he just lost to this guy. He's seeking revenge. But what I thought was interesting about this Poirier versus McGregor second fight, I thought it was either going to be McGregor wins in the first few rounds or Poirier wins in the later rounds, because Conor, while he's very good, McGregor tends to gas out, and he gets tired, and you can see when the fatigue sets in. But Poirier knocked him out early in the second round. That was very surprising. I think I'm still going to go with my gut, either McGregor first round knockout or maybe second round. But if it gets to that third round, just like he said, Poirier is going to chip away at the legs. I think he's going to get it done.
I think so too.
I think now Adesanya versus Marvin Vettori. Israel Adesanya just moved up to light heavyweight. So the weight classes, McGregor and I'm blanking on the name. Poirier. Yeah, there we go. I had a brain fart. What's that?
There's a lot of fighters.
Yeah. They are in the lightweight division, the 155-pound class. And so Israel Adesanya and Marvin Vettori, they're doing their rematch. They're in the 185-pound middleweight class. Adesanya went up 20 pounds to the light heavyweight division at 205 to fight Jan Blachowicz. It's hard to say his last name. The big old dude with the beard. Yeah. And Jan beat him on a decision, went to 5 rounds. That's Israel Adesanya's only loss. He's never lost in the middleweight division. That was his last fight at Fight Island earlier this year. Now he's coming back down to light heavyweight to take on Vettori. Now, the story of this is Vettori is a better grappler, but Adesanya is so darn good at striking that it's very hard to get inside, because he does a great job keeping away with the jab he does a great hook. He can switch stances. He does good straight up cross as well. I honestly think if Vettori can find a way to get inside, he can win this one. I could see an upset happening, because Adesanya is taller. He's 6'4", the same weight, but he's taller, so Vettori is a little bit more bulky and thick. I think he might be stronger. So what do you think? I could see an upset possibly happening. I'm still going to take Adesanya just because he's that good at striking. He's an overall great fighter. But Vettori, I think there's a chance of him. I don't think he's going to knock him out, like hitting him, but maybe a tap out if he gets him on the ground.
I think if it goes on the ground, if the fight is mainly on the ground, it'll get on the ground at some point. It will. It just will. Vittori is a good enough grappler. It's probably going to get on the ground. If he gets on the ground a lot in the fight, though, the majority of the fights on the ground, Vittori's going to win. He's going to win by decision. But Adesanya is probably the best kickboxer in UFC. He's probably the second or third, maybe if not the best striker in the league. It's going to be hard to even get him to the ground. I think it's probably going to be a knockout. Maybe Vettori goes and shoots for a wrestle and he gets a knockout that way, but I don't think we'll lose the middleweight division.
Yeah, and plus when he shoots for the takedown, and Adesanya can always throw a knee. He does mix it up with his kicks as well. As you said, he's a great kickboxer. Another fight that's not scheduled to happen, and again, that Adesanya fight is this summer. Both the McGregor and the Adesanya fight this summer. But I am so excited for a potential Francis Ngannou versus Jon Jones fight. Now, for those of you who don't know, Francis Ngannou actually is a great story. He came from Cameroon. He escaped. He was a refugee there. He escaped and then was brought back over and over. He was shoveling in landmines, working at the age of 10, escapes, goes to France, starts training MMA, then comes to America. And now I think he lives here now, or maybe he lives in France. I'm not sure, but he started fighting in the UFC, which is mainly in America. And he's made his way to knocking out Stipe Miocic. He's on a 5-fight knockout win streak. His fights rarely make it out of the first round. He's arguably his story is amazing. Now he's a heavyweight champ. Literally came from nothing in Cameroon, working like outside, like shoveling coal mines at the age of 10. Now he's a heavyweight champ. He's arguably the most physically freakish specimen we've ever seen. Right. I mean, the guy is 263 pounds, I think, and he's cut up. Oh, yeah. 6'4". I mean, he's unreal. Then he's got the most power in the UFC, undoubtedly. Yeah. Then you got Jon Jones, who's the light heavyweight champ for a long time throughout the 2010s and in the late 2000s as well. He's now moving up to heavyweight. He's went from 205 light heavyweight. Now he's at 250. I saw a video of him sprinting at 20 miles an hour on the treadmill. He's been training hard. Jon Jones is, in my opinion, the GOAT of UFC. He's never lost aside from one time he was disqualified because he didn't make weight or something like that. Or as a drug test. I can't remember. But this could be the biggest fight in UFC history if this happens. Jon Jones, Francis Ngannou, the GOAT versus the biggest, scariest titan of a man we've ever seen. Oh, yeah. Who would you take? I don't know who I'd put my money on. Ngannou would be the Las Vegas favorite in odds, but I don't know who I'd put my money on.
I don't know who I'd put my money on either. It's hard to say. It's like this. It's kind of like someone challenging. It's like he's the GOAT. He's up here. Ngannou's just trying to make his name. He's trying to make his name to that status.
Oh yeah.
And he has that potential.
His potential's he's not even close to his potential yet. Like he's recently started fighting.
I mean, it
keeps getting better.
I mean, Jon Jones has one of the strongest chins in UFC. He doesn't fall down. Mm-hmm. He can take punches. He can hit. I don't know. No one's ever seen him fight at 250. That's probably so scary. But I don't know. Francis he's the real deal. I can't say for sure how I really think he's going to win. I mean, that would be probably one of the best fights of all time.
Oh yeah, and I think it definitely ends in a knockout. And I'd also say that Ngannou, I almost kind of root for him because Jon Jones has already been there and done that. Mm-hmm. You know, he's already been the king of the UFC. He's already the best pound-for-pound fighter, or has been the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world at the time. He hadn't fought since early 2020. But I almost am rooting for Ngannou. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what my gut's telling me. I guess, you know what? A man that is that jacked and has been fighting regularly, I'm going to go with Ngannou. I'm gonna pick Ngannou.
I think I will too. I think that's
just because he's been doing it and he's used to fighting at that weight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I know he's the GOAT, and you hate to say it, but Jon Jones, he's been through a lot of stuff. It's almost like he needs to lose in the match. If he really wants to be considered the GOAT, I think if he wins this fight, it's undisputed.
Undisputable, yeah. Because some people would say maybe Khabib or some other guys. Right. So their names are juggled around, but yeah, if Jon Jones wins this and takes down a titan like Francis Ngannou, especially via knockout, which I don't think has ever happened for Ngannou, that would be insane. Oh yeah, that'd be unreal.
No one would want to fight him.
Oh no, for sure, yeah. But anyways, that was a great episode. This is, again, I'm Tank Top Hank. This is Tank Top Hank. Thank you for tuning in. Going on summer break now. The studio's going to be closed, so we'll be back next year. We might be going out to tailgates and stuff, doing various interviews, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned. Next year, maybe I'll be able to squeeze in another show sometime next week or the summer. I'm not sure. But, Burton, take a firm handshake from my Alpha Tau Omega brother or fraternity brothers. Thanks for tuning in. It's Tank Top Hank.